I am all ears. A ghost fancast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the I Am All Ears podcast with me, Alva. And today I'm joined with Katie and Alana. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello,
Hello.
hello.
So yeah, we've been away for a little while, and we figured that since there's not a lot going on, we will give the people something to listen to. No, I'm joking. We're not. We're just here. We just decided to just catch up and see what's going on. But we do have a tendency to make things happen on this podcast. Like the day we were recording the Australia episode, the next day the Australian tour happened. So you never know. We might make something happen.
You never know. Apollo
You
will hit
never
us
know.
with God's ball of truth.
Exactly. Like, most people who present shows, they say, "Oh, how have you been? How have you doing?" But let's be real, like we talk every day. I know how you guys have been doing. It's not like we've been away from each other for like 6. How long? That was October. Is it nearly 6 months? No, it's like 4 or 5. 4 or 5 months.
It's like 4
Yeah.
months. Yeah. It feels like a year.
It does actually since we've done this. It's been a while.
It's been a
No,
hot
just in
minute.
general, time since October feels like a year. Like January felt like it was just all of 2024.
It really did. January was so long. I can't believe it's over because it feels like it's still January.
Yeah.
And now we're almost in March. What was it even? Our last episode was about LA, wasn't it? So I guess since then we had the South America tour, and then we had the I don't want to say anticlimactic that in a bad way, but it was almost like a good anticlimax with the final Australian date because man lives as far this today.
Yep.
What day are we recording? It's the 18th of February. As of today, Copia is still alive, as far as we know. We don't know what the Swedes planning.
Thanks, Satan.
Just slowly loading a gun. He better stay that way.
Yeah. We were actually planning on doing an episode on the Australian day, but if I'm going to be honest, I was at a wedding and then it was all too much, and then I think we were just all kind of sitting in our own thoughts, and then suddenly 4 months went by.
Yeah, it's just kind of I don't know, why is time like that? It drags but then it's 4 months go by in a second.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think back. It was such a weird day for me anyway, just because I was at a wedding and like there was stuff going on outside of Ghost that was just a bit weird. But the nerves that I had where I was just checking my phone because obviously I'm in the UK, you guys are in not you guys, like Katie, you're in the US, Alana, you're also in the UK.
Yes.
So and the time zone in Australia, so they were like in the future. So we were just like, I was just trying to be sneaky, like at this like dinner, trying to have a look at what's going on, and I was like, fuck. As soon as it was getting close to the time.
I know, I was so nervous that whole day. I was just like, when you get really nervous and your stomach gets upset?
Yeah.
That was me all day.
I just had the kind of feeling that I knew that he wasn't going to die because they'd done that once before, and you knew people were expecting it. So I just had I guess kind of was going through the day wondering if they were going to do anything at all. But I had a feeling he wasn't going to die because, like, I feel like people kind of missed the point about why Terzo was dragged off stage. You know,
he didn't technically die on stage.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I feel like people seem to not understand that just because Terzo got dragged off stage doesn't mean every papa after him is gonna get like Looney Tune yanked off stage. Like his was very specific because obviously it was like the story was him getting too much in his own, his head was getting too big, and then obviously, the ministry was going, "You're forgetting the mission," and he's like, "I am the mission," and then he gets, yanked off stage. But like because like whenever Primo and Secondo were getting swapped over, theirs was just like really chill, just like, "Here's the mic, thanks, bro," like, and I think people seem to forget that, and then they were all sitting for like 6 months playing Uno wrong,
showing their card.
Like. It's just one of those things. It's always bugged me. Like the entire time Cobia has been in existence, everybody's like, "He's going to die," and it's like, but that doesn't mean he's going to die. Like something will happen to him, but I just feel like people seem to like kind of miss the point of why Turzo got shuffled off stage, and then the mortal
Yeah.
coil that he existed in.
And honestly, it kind of seems like they've missed the point of why the other papas died. Like the other papas were killed for Copia to be able to take power. So it doesn't really make sense to kill him when everybody else got killed for him.
But it's also kind of as well, like them dying, like in a real life sense, kind of marks the end of that era of Ghost. That's him cutting that era of Ghost off. Like when Ghost was viewed as a band, in a sense, rather than more of a solo act with people who are brought in.
Yeah,
So
that's true,
another
actually.
reason. Like that's him slamming the thing down and being like, that's that era dead. Metaphorically and literally, like they're all dead now.
I also think, yeah, for sure. I also think that given that we're expecting a film of the Imperial era to come out, hopefully any day now, please.
Hurry up.
But the Imperial cycle, I personally think isn't going to be over until that is released. So I think that would be the perfect time to reveal any changes.
The last message we got was the Empire is built, but Impera just means empire. So as long as the empire still exists, is the Impera era really over?
Oh, stress! Why do I have to read between the lines of every fucking thing?
Also, remember this man's a Star Wars fan? I'm just saying.
Oh my god, we've been watching them like over the last couple of weeks again because my partner had never seen them, and there's so many like references. I'm like, hang on a minute.
We have to remember that we have a neurodivergent nerd running this band that loves Star Wars.
Yeah, because I hadn't seen them since getting really heavily into Ghost, so now I'm rewatching them. I'm like, oh fuck, okay, that's that. Yeah, I see it. Fucking nerd. We love you, bitch. Yeah, so I remember the only main things I got to see kind of as they were happening was okay, we need to talk about this. The ice cube.
Oh my god.
I don't understand because that was sitting there.
Right, okay, I found an angle of what was going on, and I think I got someone to confirm to me. And this ties into something else I wrote down. If you watch some of the videos of when he was like, I'm just gonna go get a drink, and everyone starts screaming in like an Australian accent, like going, no, thinking something was gonna happen. But if you have a look, he had like there was like an ice bucket with his drink in, I think, or some sort of icy. There was like an icy drink that he managed to just scoop one out of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought he had it sitting there. I was like, did he have this pre-planned before?
I did think
had
that
like
as
a
well.
non-meltable ice cube just sitting to just shove down his knickers at some point during the show. Can I say as well that I slightly scared of him for the fact that he shoved an ice cube down there and then acted like nothing was happening.
He did not react.
He did not. But you know what? He said that he did it in Austin. Like he said that he put an ice cube down his pants in Austin. And that was fucking insane. Because then he was like, who wishes they were that ice cube? And I almost fainted. I mean, I was already about to pass out anyway. Because, oh my God, it was really fucking hot. But then he was like, who wishes they were that ice cube? And I was like, why are you doing this to us?
I have never wanted to be H2O so badly in my life.
Please put me in the freezer. I will be an ice cube.
But yeah, that was like one of the only things I kind of saw, and then I think I finally got a message from like Pixie. Shout out to Pixie who survived this incident in person.
I don't know how she does it.
I don't know
She's such a
either.
hero.
But yeah, we just got a clip of the stage, and then just her going, "Man's alive." So we knew baby girl was safe. Speaking of Pixie, we're gonna cut to Pixie where I had a little chat with her of just what went down. So I'm briefly joined with Pixie, aka Pixie Smallghoul, who was at the last Brisbane show. Pixie, I have a few questions for you. Tell us a little bit about the vibes before the doors open. What was going through people?
Before the show, like there was so many nice people I've never met before. Like everyone had a really good sense of community. People were trading bracelets, stickers, candy, everything. Everyone was so chilled out. It was a little bit hot. We had a little bit of rain, but it wasn't too bad. But time went by really fast, which is really good. Being there at like 6 a.m. Um, did see a little bit of behavior that I wasn't really a fan of. I'm not going to comment on that much. But yeah, everyone started getting really hyped when it was about like 3 p.m. because we knew in about 2 hours it would open up. So it was really cool. There was also like a little banner going across, like saying Ghost, and it had Papa's picture, and we were like, oh my God. But yeah, then we all got to line up and we had our wristbands on and everything. When the doors opened, the people who were on an above level walking down the gate, so that was what I was on, we all had to hold our hands up and everything. Everyone was told, do not run, but the people who were in the back gates decided to absolutely leg it, and security did nothing. So that ended up with people getting pushed and shoved. I got elbowed in the ribs. I'm so surprised I got the spot where I got, which I'm so thankful for. But yeah, it was pretty alright beforehand. And we got to hear they were sound checking Year Zero and I think Conclave Candio, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, beforehand, honestly, wasn't too bad, rather sore. Definitely gonna take pillows or like a dog bat in bed next time. But yeah, it was pretty good.
So once you were all inside, was there a sense of nerves or a sort of off energy that was sort of present? You know, could you feel that everyone was kind of shaking in their boots a little bit?
I went into that show with so much anxiety. Like my tummy was hurting so badly. I thought I was gonna shit myself a barrier. I was like trying not to throw up and shit myself at the same time. Um, yeah, I think a lot of people were feeling like a little bit anxious. Or that's the vibe that I got. Um, there were people passing out before even the support act came on because it was just so much. And people didn't tolerate the heat as well. Like, yeah, there was aircons on, but it was still rather warm, especially when you go to a show like this where your faces are painted and normally wearing all black. Um, I know I had a lot of anxiety. Like, I was so scared. I was so nervous. I was like, it was always like I didn't want it to start because I knew once it started, it was going to end, and I didn't want that. But otherwise, like I guess I held it together. I don't know how other people felt, but I held it together. Um, and yeah, even just like during the support band, like my anxiety just started growing. I was like, I can't enjoy this because I'm too anxious. I'm just like as the curtain was going up, like I thought my stomach was stabbing itself because I was just so worried.
So I've got to ask, because this is a burning question. Can you please talk us through the ice cube?
The fucking ice cube. The bloody ice cube. All right. So I didn't know what was happening at first because Papa walked off and we are like, what the fuck's he doing? He normally doesn't do that. He normally like, after he does his little peekaboo, hello, it's good to be back. And like he walked off and I heard someone from one side just yell like he's having a drink. I'm like, of course he's having a drink. It's Australia. He's gonna be dying in that fucking mask. And like he's talking and he comes out, he's got something in his hand, and like originally I thought it was a ring. I thought it was like a purple ring that he was going to be passing on to the next papa, and my chest was like, like I was so confused, concerned, scared, anxious. He held it up. He's like, I'm going to take this ice cube. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm going to put it down my pants. We screamed, of course. So, of course, we got to see Papa put his hand down his pants. Motherfucker then turned and looked at me. Why did he look at me? And he said, I want you to know I'm not pissing myself. I'm like, of course that's the thing that he says when he's looking at me. Of course. So we're all just going like, ice cube, ice cube. So that my anxiety went down a little bit. He wasn't passing on the torch to another puppet just then and there. which I was glad because I was going to be like, if I get 3 songs out of this man when I finally get to see him, and then he just fucks off, I'm not going to be happy. But thankfully, that alleviated my anxiety a little bit, and I got to see that little moment in ghost history of the ice cube. And I can guarantee you, because of how hot it was, that thing probably melted really fucking fast.
One thing I seemed to notice on the videos of TikTok from the show was that every time he went to go backstage, whether that was for a drink or for a costume change, everyone fucking screamed like something was going to happen. Like, was that the general sense in the room as well?
Look, anytime he went backstage, I got a little bit anxious. I'm like, even like the planned times he goes backstage, I was like, where's he going? Where's he going? And yeah, everyone was screaming. And most of that screaming was probably me because I was completely unhinged. Anyone who's seen the video that I took of the ghouls walking out during Kaiserian, you'd hear me just fucking screaming my ass off. I was so annoying. And I just cringe at every single video I see. But yeah, we were all just going off anytime because we did not know what was going to happen. We went into it so blind because honestly, who the hell ends a tour in Brisbane? It's normally Sydney or Melbourne who gets that honour. So we're just in, like, normally it starts with us. Normally we're the start of a tour. So we were all just kind of waiting to see if anything was going to happen.
And then I guess the final question is once it was over, did you feel like it was anticlimactic? And I mean that as in a good or a bad way, whether it was a bit of a letdown or whether it was like a relief that nothing had happened.
Look, it was a little bit anticlimactic. He just, he did his bye-byes, he waved, he bowed, curtain down, he walked off. There was like this music, and I was I had to turn to someone who's already been to like one of the Australian shows. I was like, "Is this normal? Is something going to happen or not?" No. This is normal. This is normal. This is the end. And like anyone who saw my post on Twitter of me just going, "He's alive. He's alive!" Like I'm so happy I didn't see him die because that would have been just the worst. I don't know how I would have handled that if something had happened to him in front of me. Like, you know how you see those movies where like someone's dying, they're falling in like slow-mo, and the girl's like, "No," just screaming and heart-wrenching. That would have been me, like leaning over the barrier. Like I'm happy that nothing bad happened to him. Is it a little anticlimactic that there wasn't any like inklings of change or something happening? Yeah, a little bit. But mostly I'm happy that my baby boy is okay. My love is all right. And I got to see him and he was okay. So yeah, it was in a good way. In a very good way.
But yeah, I'm doing. What else happened? So then after, has anyone got anything else to say on Australia before I move on?
Like, see, that's the whole thing. Like, there's not really much to say about it. Like, he did it, and he was just kind of like people are expecting an explosion,
Pretty much what
and
he
I'm
said, wasn't
just
it?
gonna shove ice down my pants.
No.
Anyway,
there was
here's
some-
mummy dust. You know, like I don't know when that happened. I can't remember, but it's just like it was very odd that he didn't have something planned. 'Cause, you know,
Yeah. It
that's
did feel kind of weird that especially because he kept saying this is my final show. This is and
Mm.
let's enjoy this last time together, like all those kind of things. And then just like absolutely nothing happened out of the ordinary other than the ice cube.
Yeah, but my mentally ill ass decided a couple of months ago to do a sort of timeline to try and figure out dates in between Purple changes and albums and tours, just so
yeah.
like we get a rough idea. And in theory, so Papa 1 to Papa 2 was done on the last show of the tour. Secondo to Terzo was actually done on the first. Yeah, the first show of the tour. So Secondo's last show was in September of 2014.
2024.
then- Fucking hell.
Secondo's just on the stage like, please let me go.
Secondo's yet to finish.
Oh, but it's his age.
Fucking hell.
Keep going.
It's okay. Secondo finished the tour in September 2014, and then obviously they did the Doom nightclub show in June, I think it was June of 2015, and that's when Secondo handed the mic to Terzo. So there was like that gap of like the September to May where there hadn't been a changeover, but the album was coming out and such. So you never know, we might actually see Copia hand over the mic to the next guy.
But
Yeah.
my question is, who would be the next guy? Like, I know that's kind of point of this podcast, but that my thing is like, who's left? Like the guy who gets
Yeah.
the most.
Bishop Barry.
Yeah, like Sister very explicitly said, you're out of progeny. Like,
Yeah.
there's no one left in
He
the
just wheels the
bloodline.
baby on stage. There you go, and then runs.
Oh my god, what if it's like baby Yoda, but go like there's just like a little baby skeleton.
With an oversized Pope hat on.
No, there's that.
Now it's
I was
time
gonna
for mommy
Yeah,
dust.
fuck yeah. Have you seen the episode of South Park where there's the Woodland Critters episode, and it's basically the nativity, but the porcupine gives birth to the Antichrist, and it's this little rat thing going. It's just that.
That would be so fitting.
That's what I think every time. Whenever people bring up the Copia Antichrist theory or the Antichrist theory of the next thing, I always just think of that little rat thing from South Park. Yay, Antichrist! Hail Satan!
He is our little rat man.
For real.
Aw.
Also, you're telling me out of all the times he's threatened to fuck people in the parking lot, he's not got a kid.
He does talk a big talk, but just
True, he
how
He
gives
also
virgin
rides a
energy.
tricycle.
how big is his walk?
Anyway, so
We're just thinking,
how big is his walk?
How big is his walk?
How big
Quotes.
is his walk? How much can he stir fry with his walk?
So then a few months went by. We found out Man got home and has a new beanie hat, so that's nice.
It looks very
Shout out
nice.
to-
It's a good
Looks very
color.
nice. We're proud of you. Which then led to, is he bald? We can now confirm he's not. And then the next thing that kind of, unless I'm forgetting something, I feel like the next big thing to happen was, and this is where I said we're going to have to tread lightly on this subject. I don't say that we're a news outlet, but for the sake of this story, I'm going to try and treat it as factual and as news outly as possible. But
Yeah.
it was the selling of a copy of Passiflora and the drama that
Oh,
caused.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a big thing. Was that January
Ooh.
that happened, or was it in December?
That was January. Yeah.
Oh fucking hell. Okay.
Like the last 2 weeks of January, I think.
Wow. It feels like ages ago, but also not that long ago.
Yeah.
So, to kind of run down with what happened, as unbiased as I can say, I say through gritted teeth, a copy of Passiflora, which is, if you don't know, Tobias Forge's solo album that was unreleased around about sort of 2008, 2009.
Rip.
Rip. A copy of that was put up on the site Discogs, which, if you don't know what that is, it's a site that's a little bit like eBay, but specifically for sort of vinyls and physical music stuff. Anyway, this was selling for like 5,000 euros, I think it was, and someone bought it, or someone's friend bought it, and they kind of made a sort of burner account being like, guys, I'm taking one for the team and I'm going to release it so everyone can hear it. We all got really excited. Bear in mind that when this listing first went up, a few people were actually crowdfunding to try and get the copy, but someone had already bought it. Luckily, this person who bought it said that they were going to release it. A couple of the news pages started reporting on it, and I think that was the downfall of the plan.
Yeah.
Because then suddenly everyone else was into it, and then it became a questionable legal battle. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was never any real confirmation. The person who said they bought it anyway. You know, like I think it could have been somebody who was like 14 who didn't buy it, who was just like, I bought it. You know, and expected like 10 people to care, and then 10,000 people cared, and they were like, oh no.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
allegedly, and this is a big allegedly, the person that whose friend bought it shared the screenshot of the confirmation email, but apparently, allegedly, it was taken, like, that screenshot was shared without permission. So there was some internal drama going on there. However, I if I am going to share an opinion, I am sad that I can't hear it because I would fucking love to hear that album. So
I'd love to
much.
hear it. Like, House of Affection is such a beautiful song, you know?
Oh,
It's
the
a gorgeous
breeze, even the
song.
live version.
Yeah.
I'm
Like, I'm so sad that it's. I'm trying to remain, like, you know, diplomatic, but I'm
it's very
sad.
fucking tricky.
Yeah, it's tricky
It,
because I don't want people to be. I don't want to come off as being bitchy. I'm not. I'm just sad that it's just. It seems that like it's being
Gatekept,
gatekept.
basically. Yep.
Yeah, like House of Affection's been on YouTube for 6 years now or something, or longer. I don't know, but it's been on YouTube for a while. All of the
Yeah.
Repugnant demos have been on YouTube for as long as Ghost has existed, you know, and there's never been any issues with them, and they don't exist anymore on the internet, you know. But for some reason, Passiflora has become this weird, holy grail,
Untouchable.
must keep it secret, keep it safe, Gollum-esque item for some people, you know, like, if only Bilbo would come and just steal a copy.
Yeah. It's
You know what
that
I
thing
mean?
with preserving lost media. That the people who
Yeah.
have those copies eventually may not own them anymore, or like may
A
cease to
fire might
exist.
happen.
A
Or
fire.
and a tornado might blow through their house. You know, like
Yeah, and then it's lost forever.
yeah, and that speaking as someone who has like a little bit of a background in like the archivist, working with
yeah.
archivists, physical media do not last forever. They do eventually
Mm-mm.
break down. CDs,
Mm.
especially in the 90s and 2000s, were made with some of the same materials that like film has been made out of. Like it does contain some celluloid, and that does break down, it does deteriorate. And there are commercially made CDs that just you can't listen to them anymore because the celluloid on them is gone. And so it is important to preserve these things as best we can and not making digital copies and not um making them available, oh, and just keeping them to yourself does nothing for actually preserving them. I mean, this goes for books, this goes for films, this goes for any kind of art or media. There are an archive's job is to uh make media available
Mm.
and preserve it. Archive I have worked in an archive, and an archive does a lot of digitizing. They
Mm.
do a lot of scanning and preserving books and making books available to the public that they would not otherwise be able to handle because of the fact that they are rare and that they would deteriorate with repeated handling. Um,
Yeah.
things like newspapers, obituaries. Um, we have old colonial Spanish records at the archive that I used to work at, and those had been typed into a book and rebound in that manner to preserve them so that the originals were not being handled. But like even old books being digitized and made available on the archive's website so
Mm.
that the knowledge is being able to be shared. And this is something that I feel really passionately about.
Yeah.
you know, that there are films like even in the 60s, like My Fair Lady was almost gone. It was almost completely lost just because of the nature of the, you know, the fact that it was on film.
Mm.
And that was a
A
huge,
classic film
yeah,
a classic film that is very relevant to Ghost that nearly was lost was Nosferatu.
yes.
Oh,
Only one copy of that survived originally,
wow.
and that is how it was then copied and then redistributed because they made it without contacting Bram Stoker's family, you know, to kind of get the rights to use the Dracula story. But even though they changed all the names, Bram Stoker's wife was very adamant that, you know, clearly it's supposed to be Dracula. And so
Yeah.
the people who made it were told to destroy every copy. And only
Wow.
one copy survived.
Gosh.
And
You know what I mean?
if you don't preserve these mediums and make them available to other people, then they will cease to exist. If you don't
Yeah.
make it so that other people can see them or hear them or read them, then no one else is going to care about them.
No.
And they will cease to exist. No one else will find that it is important because they will never have seen it or heard it or read it. And so they will not understand the value of it. And
No.
so not allowing other people to even to archive it in
Mm-hmm.
a digital form um is really detrimental to just music preservation in general.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
also another thing as well, I find it very funny them saying, oh, like people say, like, you know, he wouldn't want it out there, and it's like I can guarantee you, he probably wouldn't want shit that he said when he was 15 out on the internet. You know, when he had 4 brain cells and was, you know, like led by his dick. Like he's, you know, he's probably not proud of half the shit he said when he was 15. But they're fine to
Yeah.
put that on the internet and make everybody see it, you know.
Yeah, he might not
Yeah.
want like Out Shit and Cunt magazine to be out there.
Although I'm so glad it does exist, so
I'm
I can
so glad
take
it
the piss out of
exists.
it.
Yeah, yeah. And
But
then
Yeah.
there's that one where he was 15, where he talked about the fact he had a dream about trying to chat a girl up in a bar and still couldn't get her number. It's like,
Oh my god.
oh.
There was one as well, and I'm not gonna repeat what was said because I'm not. If you don't know, I'm not gonna like bring it up. But there was
Yeah.
do you guys know what I mean when I say about the Lord of the Rings thing? What he
Yeah,
said in that scene.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, do we really want that on the internet? Like,
But like half is like, yes, we do, because it's nice that we have all these things. But it's funny that the people who post those things on the internet, then go, but he wouldn't want Passiflora on the internet, and you're like, you can't have it both ways.
yeah, also show me proof he said that before I start,
Yeah.
like, because then I will be like, okay, I respect the boundary.
But
But
also, just going back to an archival standpoint, like this is a printed media. It does have value. Someone
Mhm.
put time and effort into it. There is like really cool art in it.
Yeah.
It does give us a little bit of a time capsule into what being that age in Sweden might be like. And so there is value in it, and there is value in sharing
Mhm.
it and making it available to other people.
I also
Right?
can't imagine Mr. I've got one copy of this demo. Sorry, I'm joking. Mister, I'm trying to find this rare demo and I need to hear it because I need to be the best music collector ever. Mr. Forge would be against people wanting to hear demos of his stuff, given he used to tape trade all these rare demos and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just sad that I just want to, because I know it's gonna be good. You know what I mean? Like I know there's probably gonna be some stuff on it that's not great because it's just at the time you could, because like he was still, you know, like because you listen to like Subvision and Repugnant and stuff, like they're good, but like if you listen to stuff now with Ghost, he's grown so much, and it's just nice having all access to all that stuff to hear his singing getting better, his writing getting
Yeah, the
better,
journey.
the journey like of him as an artist. It's wonderful to hear all of it, you know,
Mm.
like, and it's sad that there's this point in the middle that we can't hear. That's the
Yeah,
kind of
there's
bridge between Subvision and Ghost. Like I'm not saying that Passiflora sounds anything like Ghost. It sounds more like Subvision stuff because he was a sad, sad boy. Um, but there's this little gateway in between, like House of Affection. The writing in House of Affection, in my opinion, is 10 times better than the stuff in Subvision. You know,
Ooh.
like I personally think
What
it's
do you mean the
controversial.
House of Affection is better than the national anthem Poonie Tune?
I'm so sorry. I don't need a sing with me number of what his dick looks like. I'm fine. But
Oh my God.
but like I just personally think it'd be nice to hear that kind of like little bridgeway between, Ghost
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Subvision, that kind of, you know what I mean? Like it's just nice hearing all the stuff that he's done. You could say I'm a fan.
Yeah, and it is. It is just sad. Like it's just sad that other people can't hear it. I was just gonna say, for whatever reason, that we're not allowed to hear it. It's just sad.
Money. I didn't say anything.
It's
I'm-
also how the legal matters seem to be fan controlled rather than to bias. Like it's not to bias threatening legal action. It's like fan controlled, which
Yeah,
doesn't fit
Exactly.
right with me, if I'm
It
very
didn't.
honest.
Not with me
Mm.
either, because
No.
it's not. They don't have legal rights to any of it anyway.
No.
Their name is not on it. They didn't produce it. They didn't write it. He didn't play an instrument in it. So they don't
I
have
feel like there
legal
was a whole lawsuit around this band that also went into that kind of idea. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
about the legal ownership of music and who gets what. I don't know. It feels pretty relevant.
Oh, I know. Oh. Well, I'm just saying, I did not go through the OG emo phase of the early 2000s trying to fucking perfect winged eyeliner and stabbing myself on studded belts just so I didn't get to hear the Tobias Forge emo album.
I know we've been.
We've been through the trenches.
It's the Alexandria Library of Tobias music.
God, you're actually so right though.
You know what I mean? Like, just give it, just put it on the
This
internet.
is
Like,
our Library of Alexandria.
yeah.
Like,
Please.
And if you don't know how to put it on the internet, find someone 10 years younger than you that does. I'm just saying, or 10 years older. I don't know if I don't know if somebody 10 years younger than me could actually rip a CD onto. I sound like a boomer millennial. I'm not saying Gen Z, you're dumb. I'm just saying computers don't come with disk drives anymore. So,
Oh, I know. So if you play it and then I would be so happy with a fucking recording of like a voice memo if it was being blasted out of like a fucking boombox, and then just press record on the fucking voice note app and record it, and then upload it as one big long hour-long track. I will listen to it. I don't care.
right? It doesn't even have to be good.
You can talk. You can say like pineapple every 10 seconds just for copyright reasons. I will still listen to it. Because it's not going to be as good as obviously if you've just listening to it with headphones because you're saying fucking pineapple every 30 seconds, but at least I can hear some kind of rendition of it.
Oh, I just got flashbacks to LimeWire.
Oh my god,
Freaking-
LimeWire.
You used to get like these weird random like mp3x.com like every like 30 seconds or stuff.
And you still just grooving to Jennifer Lopez. Like, yeah, mp3x.com. Woo!
Napster.com.
And then you like have to be like, oh wait, no, a song is only like this many kilobytes, but all of these files are like 700 kilobytes. These are too big. These ones are viruses.
Or you
Like,
get
don't
porn.
download this one. Get this one.
Oh, okay. So for any Gen Zs in the room, I need to quickly explain LimeWire for if you younglings. LimeWire was like a media sharing platform, a little bit like torrenting, but it was kind of, I'd say it was pre-torrents. And the beauty of it was you'd like go in and search Linkin Park Numb. You'd click find one, and you're like, okay, this looks kind of legit. And then the file you download would be like Linkin Park Numb brackets dot hardcore porn bitch getting titties fucked. And then you think, oh, what is this MP3 file? Wait, it's not an MP3 file, it's an MP4, and it's just some hardcore porn that's also giving me a virus. Speaking of crimes, I'm going to move on to the next thing, which was, guys, we need to report a missing person at the Grammys.
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone. So the Grammys
There is a
happened.
conspiracy. There has been a conspiracy going on. At this moment to put my foot down. There's a conspiracy going on. I don't know who's running it. To not give me good photos of that man with long hair. he has not been interviewed with a good camera since his hair started growing out. He's not been photographed with a good camera since his hair started growing out. He literally just vanished out of thin air at the Grammys. There's a conspiracy happening, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
So I want to set the record straight, and yes, I am saying this is facts and you can all vouch because we were all there together. Because I said online, basically what happened was that we were waiting on so before the Grammys on the website there's like 6 or so cameras that you can watch. So there was like the main entrance, An Eye in the Sky, which was like the whole red carpet. Then there was Fashion Cam, which was close-ups of the paps and stuff. And then there was like backstage rooms and stuff. So we were all like keeping an eye on all these different cameras. We see Man. Bear in mind, I'd like to point out that when all the big stars start coming in, the ceremony, or at least the premiere ceremony, which happens before the main event in the Crypto Arena, the premiere ceremony happens in the Peacock Arena, formerly known as the Microsoft Theatre. And this is a point I'll get onto in a minute because basically the pre-ceremony is for sort of smaller categories, but it does include a lot of the rock and metal categories. Again, I'll get onto that in a second because I'm about to pop off. Anyway, this ceremony that Ghost's category was in had already started, and we were like, it's getting a bit close now. We see Man. He's in the rain outside, and we're like, come on, bro, it's getting to your time. We see him walking wearing the cuntiest of outfits, the cuntiest of shirts, the fry cook boots from SpongeBob, which I now own. Not the exact ones, because I don't have $1.5 grand. And like we see him kind of go to get his ticket scanned, the camera pans away, and then we don't see him again. We don't see him on the red carpet. However, when all this is happening, his category's just been called. Man's just found out he's lost. We're like, where the fuck did he go? But it was kind of sad how he missed his own category. However, I said about this on Twitter, and people were arguing with me, saying like, no, he didn't like miss his category. I was like, he did. We were literally watching it. We were literally watching. Like Cammy had the fucking award show on, keeping a tabs on that. We all had different cameras on. He missed it.
I was just gonna say, I think he thought that he knew he wasn't gonna win, so that's why he didn't show up. Like, because it's a cover, so he knew he wasn't gonna win. And Metallica was in the category. I personally would have if Ghost, like obviously if Ghost hadn't have won, I would have preferred Spirit Box to win. But he probably thought to himself, Metallica's in the category. I'm nominated for a cover. I'm not gonna win. Might as well just show up, whatever.
It's apparently a good place to network, so I guess it's for that reason he showed up.
Yeah.
Also, free food.
Real.
Free drink. There's an after party somewhere to go to.
Yeah.
Hopefully he got better than chips and dips though.
I'm still haunted by the chips and dip of Los Angeles.
No, I was just saying, but I personally think he kind of realized he wasn't going to win because everybody was kind of confused as to why a cover got nominated anyway, because it's good. But I think he just knew he wasn't going to win, so that's why he wasn't really as bothered. But the fact that there's a conspiracy going on to not get this man in a good photo with his hair like this is driving me insane.
Yeah, I think he must have, because he had someone with, like, there was that woman who was kind of showing around. I think he bypassed the red carpet and just went straight into, like, one of the ceremonies.
Yeah.
But what I found interesting was, I listened to the Osbournes podcast, which, if you don't know what that is, it's a podcast with Ozzy Osbourne and his family talking about stuff, a bit like this one. And his daughter, Kelly Osbourne, is dating Sid Wilson from Slipknot, who was also nominated that year. And they showed up on the red carpet together. And interestingly, she said that on the podcast that because obviously her boyfriend showed up in his mask because he's in Slipknot, that they almost didn't let him in because of the mask, because of I assume like a security issue stuff. So it was like interesting to think like, oh, what if like Papa or even the ghouls, for whatever reason, showed up?
Yeah.
Whether that would have caused problems. But also, one of the things that was kind of a slightly non-ghost related story, but kind of ties in, was that it was Kelly Osbourne that was like in all the news outlets, and it was like, and who is her mysterious masked boyfriend? And it's like, he's in fucking Slipknot, one of the biggest bands. And this is tied into what the point I was going to make was the fact that rock and metal don't get a lot of representation at the Grammys. They don't even get put into the main event. They get put into this premiere event.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's really disrespectful.
Mm,
I have a
like,
theory about why they do that. Because
wow, why?
they want to. My theory is they want to keep the main event very, non-political.
Up.
If that makes sense. No, non-political.
Oh,
Very.
okay.
I feel like they want to keep it non-political because they, they want to try to keep current events kind of out, which is why they cut Annie Lennox's mic off when she was saying about Palestine.
Yeah, that's
You
what I was
know?
going to say.
Yeah, and historically, rock and metal is a very anti-establishment, protesting kind of genre
true.
of music.
Yeah.
So keep them, because they also keep rap as well in there,
Yeah.
which
that's
again
true.
is very anti-establishment, very talking about problems and that people deal with and things. And I feel like it's very telling that the mainstream music award shows will keep those kind of more in air quotes controversial kind of genres of music away from their Taylor Swift event.
That is
You know,
interesting.
that's what I think
Yeah,
anyway.
that's
That's
actually
how I
a really
feel.
good point. Yeah, that's a really good
Yeah.
point.
I think it checks out.
Because they don't want people coming on stage. Because like rock artists and rap artists would be the first people to come on stage. Again, a good example of this. I don't like him, but Jay-Z came on stage and made a point about the fact that there hasn't been a black artist who's won Album of the Year since the 90s.
Really?
Yeah, there has been no black woman has won Album of the Year since the 90s. And again,
Wow.
Jay-Z's a rap artist, and he's the first one to say it. And then obviously after that, everybody was like, Jay-Z took away from Taylor Swift's win. It's like, shut up about Taylor Swift for 5 minutes.
You mean her
He's
like
right.
her like 13th Grammy? She doesn't
Yep.
care anymore.
For sure.
But that's like, I feel like that's why they keep them in the premiere, because less people watch it, and they can spout off and say whatever they want there, and nobody's going to see it. You know what I mean? Like,
That's true. Speaking of censorship, so I think this is a topic that obviously this really hit hard for you, Alana, was the fact that Universal took down all of their artists on TikTok, which included Ghost, thus making it extremely difficult to make any sort of content that had any Ghost songs on. However, and you'll vouch for this as well, because I've noticed it, they've not stopped at like the songs, they've stopped at like any audios with like interviews and like clips from chapters, I think, have been hit on some things. Like the stupidest stuff has been hit.
I think they're going just through the tags, and just like they have maybe a set amount of mutes, if that makes sense. Like we'll mute 1 million videos in this tag of Ghost, and then just mute randomly 1 million videos, is like all the ones where the music gets hit, but then just randomly like an extra 1 million videos that are in this tag, because I had one of my videos get muted, and I know for a fact there's no music in it that's Ghost. Like the music I have in it is it was one of the Tobias videos.
Oh yes.
And the only music in it it's a song called Monkey Spinning Plates or something, and I got it off YouTube.
Oh, which is
and
generic.
It's
like, royalty free shit.
That's it, and they muted it, and I'm like, also I feel like if I say this, they're gonna mute it. They muted one of my videos for the audio, but then a video directly after it that has the same audio, because I had they're like, oh, can you make it a sound so I can use it? Didn't get muted.
That is odd.
And I'm like,
oh, weird.
Okay. Sure. But
Yeah,
it's been very hard.
I bet, especially like because you like are known. I'd say like when I think of like ghost TikTok, and I don't mean the sort of teenagers that have copious spunk balls as their username. I mean, as in like
Oh,
content
God.
creators on TikTok. You're like the first one I think of.
Oh, that's
Like even
nice.
before we became like friends and stuff. Like I always think
Yeah.
like of that. So
It's
it's like God.
it's been a bit more difficult because I well, one of the things though that confuses me is there is a fair use thing, and you can use 30 seconds of music fair use.
Yup. Yep, 30 seconds is completely fair use. You should be able to do that without any copyright problems.
Yeah, and like but what's really funny as well is other songs that get muted because of copyright, they'll say, "Oh, it's been muted because of copyright." Whenever they mute anything Universal related, it will tell you this has been muted because of Universal Music. Like it won't say it's been
Yeah.
copyrighted. They like TikTok is going out of their way to be like, Universal Music is doing this to you, not us.
Mm.
You know,
odd.
I was really worried that they were going to mute like all of my videos with because I used Faith as my intro. You know,
Yeah, our
like
podcast trailers got muted.
yeah. I was so worried. I spent over an hour downloading nearly 5 gigabytes worth of my videos.
Mm.
I was so tired. I was like, I don't want all my videos to get muted. They kind of muted I think like a quarter of them, but I'm just leaving them up in case they sort their shit out and then reinstate
Yeah, save
everything.
re-uploading. Yeah, that would be good.
But it's been very strange because some of them got muted that only have Faith in it, and some of them haven't.
Hmm.
And you're like, so like the only kind of ghost music you can use now without it getting completely muted is anything off of Opus Eponymous, because
Yeah.
that was released with
Yeah.
Rise Above. So Primo lives. My time to shine, motherfuckers.
Primo girlies are coming through with the content. No. Did you see that video that someone did where it was like, I'm gonna have to make my own covers now since the TikTok no longer has ghost songs, and they did 20s, and it's just literally them doing it really shit with their voice. And I mean
Yeah.
this with love. It's so funny where it's like boom, ba boom, ba da boom, ba dum, ba ba boom. I was like, I'm here for that.
We should
Oh,
get
so they're
that.
doing the Tobias impression.
Yeah, I was about to say we should
Pretty
just
much.
use that video of him like
Going boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba.
yeah.
Yeah.
Change that for the
Yana would
jingle.
love that. Boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba.
we gotta get Jump to do it. She would love to do it for
Please.
us.
Boompa boompa. She'd love that.
It's shitty all around because it's not just even Ghost. It's like again, I don't like her, but Taylor Swift's been taken off.
Oh no.
Lady Gaga,
Oh yeah, that's
who has the most editable music, like
yeah, like Judas
all of her
Fox.
songs. Judas, Bloody Mary, Heavy Metal Lover, like all those songs were just kind of all blown up to make edits to. And it's just really sad looking at my very blank videos with no
Well,
noise.
this isn't a point then, and this is for better or for worse depending on what your opinion is on this. Like obviously a lot of record companies kind of rely on TikTok now for songs to kind of go viral and then their artists boom. Like look at Mariana Cross.
Yeah.
Like that again, is it for better or for worse that is potentially not gonna happen anymore? Like it's gonna be rare that another ghost song goes viral on TikTok because they're not allowed on fucking TikTok now.
Yeah.
Also, like you'd think
Yeah.
it'd be a good thing in terms, if from a business point of view, because it boosted sales and whatnot. So, what they thinking?
I don't know. It's one of those things. It's because they make 3 cents for every video a song is used on, and I find it funny that they'll fight with TikTok over that, but they won't fight with Spotify,
Right.
who is
Yeah,
literally the
they
same
don't
thing.
even get a whole penny. Like
No.
it's like a fraction of a penny for every play. And like most of that doesn't even go to the artist, it goes to the record company. But so they'll fight over whole pennies with TikTok, but they won't stand up to Spotify.
What we're saying is, go buy your favorite band's merch.
Yeah. There was
Yeah.
a picture I saw on Twitter that basically said, I think it was I can't remember how many streams exactly. I think it was like 300 streams of one song is the same equivalent of buying one T-shirt.
Yes, something like that. This is why I play Griffwood.
Yeah, I just sit with Ghost on constantly while playing Power Watch Simulator, and
This
I
is
have
all for you,
literally
King.
yeah, this is all for you. I need you to have the money to have all you want.
This is for your retirement fund. Play the
Literally.
same song 1,000 times.
But
Um,
on the front of like Ghost going viral again or something like that, there like Mariana Cross went viral out of sheer like it's like a shot in the dark. You know what I mean? Like it just takes one edit for a song to go viral. You know, it's like that Pedro Pascal edit. You
Was
know
it
that
the
one? I've got a six
B16
on the cold
lady?
ones back. Yeah, that one. You know what I mean? Like it just takes one edit to kind of kick a song off to make it viral. Like you know, and like it's like a shot in the dark. Like you can't rely on TikTok to go viral. Like he said it himself as well. Like you can't rely on things like that to happen all the time. You know,
Yeah, it's
like
also
so like
organic.
yeah. Also, Ghost, what I find very funny is it's the section of a song that when you take it out of context sounds like very romantic, you know? But then literally the next line after that is he says, I'll tickle you internally. Like
Gonna fucking
Yeah.
Ghost
bust
is
you,
not
Fanny.
you know what I mean? Like Ghost is not a very viral friendly band in the sense of like the way, you know, again, I keep mentioning her just because it's just first name comes off my head. Taylor Swift. You know, like she's very, you know, consumer friendly, you know,
Yeah,
she's got a very friendly
commercial.
image. Yeah, you know, she's
Very
like that girl that was in school that would always get the lead in the play, even though she sings like out of key. And you're like, sure, her mom's on the
No.
student council or whatever. but like, you know, and then like Beyonce and stuff like that there as well, you know, like Beyonce's very easily to market, Lady Gaga's very easy to market. Like you look at Ghosts and they shouldn't be as popular as they are. Because like, so what's the concept? I'm an old man pope that sings Satan music.
So how can we sell this to little girls?
How can we sell this to teenagers? He's like, I don't care.
Please don't. Please don't tell this to little girls or teenagers.
So
I
what
have-
y'all is...
I have horny backup dancers. I don't know, like, but yeah, like Mariana Cross going as viral as it did, because like what was really funny was because like Mariana Cross went viral and people were all saying like, you know, your beauty doesn't scare me and all this here. But then when they'd listen to the whole song, they'd get so offended, you know. And
Have you seen the
it's
Christian version on YouTube where it's just they've censored
Yes.
almost every other fucking word? It's so fucking funny.
it's so funny.
Ridiculous.
One of and this is kind of like off topic but still on topic. I had kind of only really not got into Ghost just before that kind of kicked off. And I was kind of looking through TikTok, and one of the videos that popped up was these two girls talking to each other. I will always remember this. I don't know who these two girls are, but if they know if they ever listen to this and know I'm talking about them, know that I love them because it made me laugh. But they were talking about worrying about Ghosts censoring themselves now that they were popular, because they mentioned that they had cut out the shots in the Life in Florida video from Aaron Across of him doing the air fingering thing that he does. And I was
No,
like,
they didn't.
no, but that's what I was like. I was like, did they? And then I looked, and there's like literally one shot of one of the ghouls doing that, like directly at camera, and then there's him doing it. I'm like, did you not watch the video in full screen, or? But I just
What do you
like,
mean
I
you
just want
didn't
them to
pause
know.
every frame?
Yeah, but I just want them to know I love
What?
them. I will always. It's been nearly 2 years. I still think about that video. It made me laugh, like for a good solid 10 minutes.
So, the conclusion we've come to then is Poonie Toon will never go viral and thus force a Subvision reunion.
Could you
Damn
imagine?
it.
For better or for worse, we will
Please can
probably
Poonie
never
Toon go
have a Subvision
viral? Can you
reunion.
start putting Poonie Toon edits with all your first traps and stuff, please?
Yeah, I'm going
Someone-
to. I will. I will. For
I
you,
mean,
I will
you-
try and make a Poonie Toon.
It won't like get flagged, I'm guessing, because they're on Cool Junk Productions or whatever it was. not
Yeah, I'll
Universal.
try. I legitimately will try.
Anyone listening who is a good like TikTok creator, please can we make this happen? Can we get Poonitoon viral, please?
Please help us claim our right to poontang.
This is a new Twitter. This is a new Twitter campaign we're starting right now. Make Poonitoon the next Mariana Cross on Twitter, on TikTok.
Hashtag Poontalk.
He would legitimately come to all of our homes and kill us.
Yeah.
Please do, sir. I would
At
welcome
least
it.
I finally made.
Please. If you are willing to make the trip all the way here just to kill me, and by all means.
You mean I get a free meet and greet and a knife? A souvenir
And I
knife?
get to make my hair suffering. Oh my god.
A free meet and greet and a souvenir bullet? Wow.
It's
The
signed.
dream.
Signed Papa 5.
Oh my god. We'll get featured in a ghost documentary.
Fucking hell.
How the
I'll be on
lead singer of a Swedish metal cult band went rogue.
and killed several people.
It's a Netflix documentary. It's filmed like those like Ted Bundy tapes. You know, very serious.
Lords of Chaos, part 2.
Oh my god. If I survive, I want to be in the documentary and be like, and I saw him at the edge of my bed and I was like, smash. And then he put the knife in me.
I saw him at the edge of my bed and I thought, oh, this dream again. And then he stabbed me.
I was kind of into it.
I saw him at the end of my bed and thought, wow, he's not as tall in real life.
He went to put the knife in me, but then I asked him about his liberal mother, and then he gave me a 3-hour long lecture. And by the time he was done, he was like, "You know what? I don't feel like killing you anymore."
I got him distracted with Star Wars. What's your opinion on the Cold War? Oh wow.
I told him that Megadeth was better than Metallica, and he's that was the final straw.
That would
Then-
that was because he would just kill you.
No, I don't know if you've all seen Chicago, but you know when it's like he ran into my knife, 10 times.
She had it coming. She had it coming.
Oh my god, that's gonna be Ghost the Musical. Just me getting killed.
Oh my god.
Jesus, I'm gonna have to trigger warning this, but not for the reasons you think.
Trigger warning. It's talking murder,
Murder, stabbings.
stabbings, shootings for really stupid reasons. Not the reasons you're thinking.
Just to close to because we're getting to the end now.
Oh.
This is I know, right? Well, this is a bit of a spicy one, so we could probably talk about this for half an hour.
Huzzah.
There's a lot of people that say that they're leaving the fandom because they're bored and that nothing is happening. But it's been like 4 months. Come on, week.
Come on.
And that's the end of the episode.
Week.
Goodbye. No, I'm joking. No, what do you think about this?
I think it's
I-
fine to go find
Yeah.
other interests while Ghost is away doing other things, but like legitimately saying that you're just leaving full stop and never coming back because the man has to go do his job.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, where do you think this music comes from? Like,
Have you all tried being like My Chemical Romance fans or like a fan of
Yeah.
any dead band?
Yeah.
have you tried
or
being a
like-
fan of Nine Inch Nails?
or like how are you a fan of anything or anyone? Because every show, every actor,
Mhm.
everything has a dormant period, like because you have to create new things. So like to just be like, you're not making anything new, I'm leaving. Like
I
that
mean-
makes what?
They're iPad children,
Well,
like,
this is what I was
it's-
gonna say. We're in the era of TikTok where, like, if a video is more than like 10 seconds and it's not interesting, it's like, next. Like, YouTube's dying out for that reason because it's like no one wants to sit and watch a 10-minute video. It has to be like a short 30-second video, and it's like we can't apply this mindset to the real world now, guys.
Yeah,
No.
unfortunately, yeah, the real world doesn't do that. And I get it because I have ADHD. I have to take meds to like focus on things for longer than 10 minutes at a time. So I get it. But also, the real world just isn't like that. You like things have to take time to make. Like If you're making
Yeah.
a cake, it takes longer than 10 minutes to make cake.
No,
I
you
was gonna
first.
say, I think this is why I do what I do a lot in the fandom. Like, I make my own content and make my own form
Yeah.
of entertainment. Like, the reason I do this, and this is why I said I joked about it at the beginning, but it was actually kind of somewhat serious. That the reason we talked about bringing this back was to sort of make something to maybe get people interested and engaging again. Like, spoiler alert, the next couple of episodes we want to do is like, talking about lore and history and like the chapters and
Yeah.
videos and stuff that's not talking bollocks, basically.
We
Just
will
so it
talk
like
bollocks, but it will
we will
be
talk bollocks.
contained
Educational.
bollocks.
Yeah, educational bollocks.
Yeah, so we want to give something that people can engage in the meantime, and also, like we said, speed things up a bit because we have a tendency to do that. No, we don't. But
We do.
it's just
We were
we do.
handpicked by Apollo to
Really.
direct
It's
news
true.
of this Swedish Satanists band to people by accident. He's like, I'm going to do this the fun way. Curveball.
But no, that's that's why I just sit and edit the same photos over and over again,
Yeah.
just so like
That's why I learned how to make GIFs again.
exactly
It's
make your
it's
own.
literally been 10
Photoshop.
years, and I was like, I'm pay for Photoshop to make GIFs because I need to do something. I will actually say a thing. I kind of shifted my focus onto Baldur's Gate 3 for a wee
A lot of
while when it
people
came
have.
out. I'm gonna be completely honest. I was very depressed during that because I wasn't focusing on Ghost. I was like, I
Aw.
feel really.
Why
Oh,
don't
it's
you
because I'm
go-
not focusing on Ghost. Oh, I don't like this.
Yeah.
It was really sad. I was like, very sad in the sad crying sense, and sad in the that's sad. It's like, yeah, I know. So like, yeah, because I wasn't making videos and stuff, because I'm sadly one of those content creators that likes to kind of put effort into the stuff I make rather than just
good.
shitting out shit every 5 minutes. Like, I can't do that. I don't know how people do
Oh,
that.
you mean like me?
No, because you put effort into
No.
yours. No, I'm talking about when you see people who have TikTok accounts that have like they've uploaded 14 times in the space of an hour, and I'm like, how are you making all these videos?
Yeah, what?
Oh, and it's just
Like,
a generic CapCut edit that you insert the photos and it does all the work for you.
Yeah,
And it's just
yeah.
a weird like K-pop song.
yeah, it's like I know my edits are not like the most imaginative, challenging things because a lot of them are just like quick cuts on beat. There's only so much I can do on a tablet, okay?
Yeah, but
But
I
like,
always love the comment, like the little fun captions and comments and
Yeah.
Yeah.
speech bubbles and stuff that come out
It's got
with it.
your humor and your personality in it. Like, it
Mm.
comes through.
I was very pleased that people enjoyed that because I was like, if nobody likes this, it tells me I'm not funny and I'm just gonna die.
No, I enjoy
You
it.
know?
I was gonna say I was like, this is very much my humor, so
Yeah, because I will like say that the reason I started making them, there's a TikTok account called Ghosts and Ghouls, and
yeah.
they were doing like ghost funny moment videos. If you can hear banging about, it's my cat walking about being an idiot. I'm sorry. But she used to she does ghost being funny moments, but she just kind of posts the funny moments, and I
Yeah.
was like, I kind of want to do that, but I want to do it my way, which was obnoxious editing and captions that were and the millennial zoom in.
Oh no, the
You
sound
know,
effects take me out. Oh, they're so funny.
some of my
Huh?
it is
Huh?
the quack one always seems people like the quack.
Yeah.
You know, when he pats people on the head and quacks and stuff and
Oh,
bonk
yeah.
and things like that there.
Squidward walk. Wink, wink, wink.
Love doing that one. But it's I personally get taken out by just like kind of random zoom ins on certain words and phrases, and I personally think that's the funniest thing. So they're my favorite ones to do.
Like, have you seen like how I always seem to post like it's usually like a Tobias interview pause that are very like unflattering faced zoomed in, and I'll be
It's
like
so
crying
funny.
over that for about 10 minutes. Like that's my
God,
sense of
I
humor.
love that though. Like, that is
Yeah.
the best. That is so
For like
funny.
a dramatic boom and it zooms in on like Papa's face, being like, "Huh."
That one's always really popular. Where
You can tell we grew up with Vine.
you can
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
tell. I have seen some people who make videos that kind of like are like mine, but they annoy me slightly because of the amount of sound effects they use. Like they each their own humor and stuff, but it's like every 5 seconds, like boom, 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 whack, boom, boom, and you're like, it's just gets to the point where you're like, all right, calm down. It's just like I found all the sound effects on CapCut. Let me just throw them all in.
Let's use
You
all
know?
of them in this one video. Let's do it.
All right, so I think that's all that I think we're up to speed at the minute. Like I said, we can probably talk about what's next at another point because I think that's a whole other episode in itself. But for now, I think hopefully that's caught everyone up to speed of where we're at currently. Watch me edit this episode and then suddenly all hell breaks loose. Like there's a new album,
A
there's a
movie
fucking
trailer.
movie. The movie's out. Fucking Papa 5, 6, and 7 have all dropped at once.
Neil's finally gone.
Katie, where can we find you on what socials do you want to plug, if any, these days?
Oh,
Because really, who wants to
yeah,
be on social media these days?
right? It kind of sucks butt right now. On Twitter, on at C2May on Twitter, and that's pretty much it. I'm not really active on anything else.
Don't you mean Elon Musk owned X?
Sure.
It'll be a cold day in hell before I fucking start calling it X. I'm telling you that now.
I
Right?
fucking know, right? Alana, what about you? Plug your TikTok. We love your TikTok.
Well, I shouldn't have to say where I am. I'm just kidding. No, but I'm
I'm sorry. Don't you know
HXCFairy.
who she is?
Don't you know who I am? No, but I'm HXCFairy on TikTok, on Twitter, Instagram, anywhere basically. Don't look at any old places because it's cringe. People are like, oh, I'm gonna look now. But yeah, TikTok and Twitter is HXCFairy.
I'm Alva. I actually am going to be like, you can just, you know where I am.
You know where
If you can find, don't find me because I'm kind of sick of y'all. No, I'm joking. I am sick
You're
of
all
some of
just
you.
so mean, and
Stop
you're
being
just
mean to me.
you're being mean, and you're being shady, and I don't like it. Burn off.
The ones who know where I am are the ones I want around, and y'all can all fuck yourself. I'm joking.